Hello everybody, this is Prasad Mainampati. Today we will look at the difference between the refresh, generally asked questions, and many people, especially working guys, whenever they take the interviews and all that, and including not really for the freshers basically, for experience like 2 years, 3 years experience people, they did mention many times that being asked in interviews, what's the difference between the refresh and cloning? Right? Sounds similar, not really. And again, always understanding the technology, lot to do with the mere common sense. When we say basic understanding about the terminology, when we say refresh data from one database to other database. Cloning, production to non-production environments. So production to non-prods, right? Obviously only this way, not the reverse way. Refresh also from production to other production environments or to non-production environments possible, right? So when we say refresh, what does it sounds like? Portion of the data, isn't it? Portion of the data. We are moving from one database to other database. Okay, can we define like when we move the portion of the data one database to other database, we can call refresh. What if when we do data pumps like exports, logical exports and imports? Of course the latest is data pump. Using data pump, if I do the entire database, full database export, full database import, then what do we call that? Is it a refresh or a clone? One simple way of understanding the difference is, clone means simple and straightforward, identically equal. It's exactly same, identically equal. Both are 100% same. Of course, when we move the data from one database to other database, portion of the data or entire data by using data pumps, definitely it is not exactly same. As simple as that to understand. Portion of the data, definitely not. What are all the ways and means that we can use to move the data, portion of the data from one database to other database? Various things that we can use it. We can use generally materialized views. Views will not contain data, but when view got materialized, definitely that which contains the data. So the point here is, when we use materialized views, definitely it is getting the information from within the database or from across the databases possible, right? When we try to refresh this database, whatever this database is, you can refresh this database from multiple databases, vice versa. From this database, you can refresh the data to multiple databases. The best example is, let's say for example, in US, insurance is the biggest business, right? So corporate office is in California, for example, and they are selling the insurance other states like Illinois and Iowa, New York, and maybe Wisconsin, wherever it is. When they are really capturing the data, that must be replicated to central location, maybe entire data or portion of the data, or maybe manipulated, some kind of calculations and some kind of algorithms that we can apply. That data can be moved to the central corporate office, so that when people claim before corporate office can release the check, they do have the information. That's the reason even in India, when we pay, like, once the telephone line got disconnected, when you pay the bill, when you ask, hey, when I'm going to get the connection back, they say maybe in a couple of hours, something like that. No one literally doing anything. Automatically the system is set up for the refresh to get the information from one location to other location based on certain criteria. So that happens automatically. So when we say refresh, generally refresh is to do with the refresh interval, right? Refresh interval means the frequency. When to initiate the refresh, this is also automated. Automatically we refresh the data by using especially materialized views in latest versions. And prior to 9i, we used to call snapshots, right? Prior to 9i, we used to call snapshots, basically same technology. So that's the reason we call materialized views as the hybrid objects. Okay, the materialized views are called hybrid objects because how many types of objects we have, by the by? Code objects, right? Data objects and hybrid objects. Code objects basically holds only code. For example, views, procedures, packages, so on and so forth. The objects that which contain just code are called code objects, will not demand space in the database as an ongoing process, because every day we are not going to change the code, right? With respect to data concern, data will be changed all the time. Data will be changed all the time. Every second data will get modified. So space demanding objects are called, as we know, the basic stuff, segments. But what about this materialized views? Materialized views to do with the code as well as data, both, because code is the one deciding what type of refresh should happen, right? Refresh method, it supports various types of refresh methods, right? One is complete, fast and force. All I'm trying to say is refresh that has multiple dimensions based on the requirement. Either you use materialized views or you simply export a few objects and then import few objects, or maybe you kind of do using materialized views. You can grab the information and put into the table wherever it's supposed to be, and it can deal with one database to multiple databases, single database. Whichever way you want to do it, you can definitely do with the refresh. Whenever we say refresh, we are talking about the portion of the data, point to be noted. Very clear and straightforward, no questions asked over that. Okay, that is the case. What if the entire database, what happens when we really do with logical exports and imports? We are dealing with the entire database. Yeah, even though you deal with the entire full database export import, that's not called cloning. Cloning means identically equal. Best example, using RMN, database duplication is official cloning methodology. Whenever we say database duplication, it is identically equal from production to development. Not only that, you can even use the cold cloning. Cold cloning also done using physical level CRD files. This is also kind of physical level. RMN is neither physical nor logical. RMN backups are RMN backups. We can't call RMN backups or physical backups or logical backups. Using RMN, we can clone so that the database is going to be identically equal. So I hope this gives some kind of idea the difference between refresh and cloning. And there is a new tool, a new product. We talk about Golden Gate. Wonderful tool supported by Oracle. Why Golden Gate is so famous these days? Because we have various methodologies to move the information here and there within the Oracle database. The power of Golden Gate is it even supports the heterogeneous environments, and you can do a lot of data manipulation while refreshing the data from one location to other location, and you can choose what data you wanted to refresh and all that. Very flexible and proven beyond doubt, and even other product companies also using the Golden Goat as a standard replication tool. See that? Replication, refresh kind of goes together. What is that we are trying to do? We are trying to replicate the information, maybe in the same fashion. Maybe we are applying some kind of algorithm, and when it gets to destination, data can be modified if it is required. So depends upon the table structures and all that. Definitely we can do that. So all this is called refresh or replication, moving the data from one location to other location. But whereas cloning is exactly identical copy of your production, that can be achieved by using Armen or cold cloning. Okay, so various technologies for various purposes basically. Okay, so that's how we can really understand, and I hope this gives some kind of idea for you to perform your duties in corporate world, or when you try to take up the interviews. So as we all know that concepts plays a major role. Once we understand the concepts, implementation, no big deal. So we can really implement this technology. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Hope you enjoyed, and hope it helps. Thank you. Bye bye. See you with another new video soon. Bye.